Q supporters at a Trump rally a few years ago when the group first started to form. Yet the President of the United States essentially just embraced them.
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate.
It is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? If I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there.
And this is just, we're just going to pause here because this is just remarkable. The president, this is a group that believes it's based on anti-Jewish, anti-Catholic tropes that have been around for generations. It used to be that there was a cabal of Jewish bankers controlling the world and pulling the strings of everything. This group, QAnon, people who believe in it or follow it online, they believe that the world is essentially run by a secretive group, cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles who are plotting against the president while operating a child sex trafficking ring, communicating in code involving pizza. They believe falsely that the leaders of the group are people like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, Pope Francis, Dalai Lama. I'm on a list somewhere somehow involved with this, or I think my mom is. They believe falsely that in addition to molesting children, this group of Satan-worshipping celebrities and Democrats kills and eats their child victims in order to get a chemical from the blood of children that extends their lives. They actually believe this. They believe that a group of military generals recruited President Trump to break up this conspiracy and end their control of the government and the media. In fact, a couple of years ago when this started, and it started from some anonymous person posting under the letter Q on a internet chat site, and all these people continue to believe little obscure clues or hints that are put out by this anonymous person, or could be Russia, could be anybody, who knows who it is, and they kind of link dots and build this conspiracy theory as it goes. So it used to be that Robert Mueller, according to this conspiracy, Robert Mueller was actually secretly working for Trump to indict Hillary Clinton and all these other people on child sex trafficking, and of course that turned out not to be true at all. But then the conspiracy theory just kind of forgot about that and invented a new reason, and they've kept growing. To try to expand their umbrella, they now attach themselves to anti-vaccine groups, people who actually do work on child trafficking. Because for all these people talking about child trafficking, it doesn't seem like they're raising money for any groups that actually work on child trafficking. As Gary Tuchman spoke to some Q supporters at a Trump rally a few years ago when the group first started to form.
It's a movement, man. It's the shift. I can feel it coming. Some call it the Great Awakening.
It's an entity of 10 or less people that have
involved with the government?
high clearance, security clearance.
And how do you know that?
Well, I'm just telling you, this is what it appears to be.
What it appears to be.
See, Count of Salk's death. Say it.
Guessing.
And you don't have any proof.
Dump him in it like that and bury it.
Yes.
And what do you think?
I'll see through the light.
You think they're running this country?
I think they were, and they're petrified now.
Who are the people in it?
Oh, I definitely believe that, like, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas.
QAnon is the people that believe in what Trump's trying to do to change our country.
You guys are...
So you don't believe in the First Amendment?
Oh, I totally believe in the First
Amendment. Well, you just said the press is
the enemy. You guys are weaponized. You guys are totally weaponized by the CIA.
What is that?
So it would be actually kind of funny if it wasn't as something that had real world consequences. You may remember a few years back, a person showed up heavily armed to a pizza parlor in Washington, believing that I think one of the Clintons was running a child sex trafficking ring out of the basement of the pizza parlor. They showed up with weapons.
Jesus Christ.
The pizza parlor. There were no children being held captive there.
Garage on fire. Fuck.
QAnon supporters accused of murdering a mafia boss in a really weird case. Another one was arrested for threatening to kill Joe Biden. And yet, a supporter of this movement just won a Republican primary in Georgia. She's also a 9/11 truther, doesn't believe a plane went into the Pentagon. and is favored to win a seat in Congress in November. A former DHS official, and the president says that person is a bright future star of the Republican Party. Guess why the president refused to do the easy thing? A former DHS official, by the way, who's endorsing Biden after calling the president a danger, guess why the president was unwilling to, basically distance himself from QAnon. He pretended not to know anything about the whole cannibalism, child
Even
sex
if your
trafficking,
eyeball itches, don't itch it.
Satan worshipers. Yeah, here's what he said.
Okay.
If we've learned one lesson about Donald Trump, it's that he thinks if something aligns with his personal interests, it is good. If it doesn't align with his personal interests, it is bad. In the case of
Nana.
things like QAnon and conspiracy theories, as long as they support and reinforce
Your heart,
the
you
president's
fatty.
worldview, he will embrace them with a full hug. But if someone comes into his office with a
Thanks,
contrary
Nana.
worldview, or something to
Okay,
dispel
sorry, Nana.
a conspiracy,
Nana, they're helping us today. They are. Good job, Nana. Is that good?
Interested in truth. He's interested.
You think they're gonna find Jonas as killers? No.
And you know how the reason you can know that's true? We're joined by Brian Salk.
Killers of Jonas Salk.
Brian, you know you can tell what he said is true because the first thing the president said when asked about QAnon yesterday said they say very nice things about me, and that's for him. That's the number one bullet point on QAnon. It doesn't matter that they say these slanderous, outrageous, insane, things based on anti-Semitic tropes about a cabal of Democrats drinking the blood of children, which is literally something Nazis said about Jews long ago. It's extraordinary that the president of the United States now doesn't have the moral courage to even stand up and just say, this is ridiculous.
And he's claimed that he doesn't know what QAnon is all about, but he has retweeted Twitter accounts that promote this idea. And there are lots of QAnon supporters that used to show up at his rallies, back when they had rallies, wearing QAnon paraphernalia. It is very hard to imagine that the president doesn't know what this is about, but whether he does or not, it's disgraceful. If he doesn't know, he needs to know, because too many of his supporters are buying into these lies, spreading these lies, and endangering fellow Americans. And if he does know what it's about, and he's winking and nodding to them, that is incredibly dangerous. I hear Anderson sometimes talk about this as a conspiracy theory. They say it's just a conspiracy theory. No, this is a virtual cult. This is dangerous to the country, dangerous for Trump supporters, as well as for Trump's opponents, because it buys into the looniest ideas on the fringe, but because people like President Trump are giving winks and nods, it is no longer fringe. It is becoming mainstream.
Right. Again, they believe a group of Hollywood celebrities and Democratic leaders are torturing children, trafficking in children, and then harvesting their blood for some sort of a chemical that's supposedly in their blood that will keep, I guess, the people young or something.
Fuck, that's what they woke me up like with Scarlett in 2015. They got a presidential fucking pass with that group. And I put Metro books through them, and they don't believe it.
The only GOP congressman speaking out about this problem. Conspiracy theory thinking, I understand why it happens. People want to get wrapped up in crazy ideas. They go down rabbit holes on the internet, on Facebook and Twitter. People need to be helped away from this nonsense. Facebook and Twitter, by the way, are both removing QAnon-aligned accounts. But frankly, Anderson, it's probably too late. This stuff has been spreading for years, and now even the president is being asked about it.
Yeah, Brian Stelter, appreciate it. Thanks. AMC theaters reopening tonight in some cities. Hear what precautions are being taken. Plus, a Puerto Rican official joins me to respond to the claim that President Trump